Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Why is the penetration tester role so in demand? Because you want to be a hacker, love the challenge of breaking in, and do it all with permission, legally, for good reasons, without ending up behind bars. A penetration tester's goal is to ethically assess how secure the organization's systems and software are. After the test, the organization uses the findings to fix security issues and prevent real cyber incidents. To spot an organization's security issues effectively, a penetration tester must know the workflows and tools malicious hackers use. Pen testers work in a very systematic way, as we will learn later, so your chances of mastering the role are very high. With well-organized, structured training, which I aim to give you, anyone can succeed. Do you need prior knowledge to succeed in this training? While prior knowledge helps you move faster, I will teach from the perspective of someone without that background and cover the basics too. On top of that, you can ask questions in the comments on the training videos, and I try to reply as quickly as possible, the same day or at most the next day. At first, the content will cover fundamentals for newcomers, and as we progress, we will dive into very advanced topics like evading various antivirus products and advanced protection systems. To sharpen your hacking skills, beyond the structured lessons, I have added videos of different cyber challenges where I give end-to-end guidance on how to solve them, and I include links in the descriptions so you can try the challenges yourselves. If you are into it, subscribe to the channel now and click the bell so you do not miss the next lesson. Subscribing is completely free, you can cancel anytime, and it helps me know I am making lessons that help you. So what does a penetration tester actually do? They uncover vulnerabilities in the organization's systems. For example, it might be a website where the developers did not close all the loopholes in user input validation. It could be an FTP service, a service for transferring files between computers, running an old version with known vulnerabilities that can be exploited to break into the server. After identifying vulnerabilities, they exploit them, meaning they use those weaknesses to break into the system. At the end, the penetration tester produces a detailed report for the organization with all findings, recommendations for neutralizing the vulnerabilities, known professionally as mitigation, such as upgrading software or fixing faulty configurations in the system. And finally, for the full list of vulnerabilities, they must define the risk level based on two factors. 1. How severe the impact would be on the organization if an adversary exploited the flaw. Would they be able to steal sensitive information or shut down the organization's operations, or would they only be able to access a few non-sensitive files that do not pose a risk to the organization? 2. The likelihood that the flaw will be exploited. A high likelihood example would be a web server open to the public on the internet running an old version with a known vulnerability, where a public exploit is available online, meaning code someone else published that exploits that vulnerability, and running it requires minimal technical knowledge. By contrast, the likelihood is lower that someone will exploit a flaw in a database server when it is on an internal network, not exposed to the internet, and only authorized users can connect to it. Defining the risk level of each vulnerability in the report lets the organization prioritize the order of addressing security issues. Let's talk a bit about ethics. Ethics is morality. It means distinguishing between good and bad. Therefore, ethics is subjective. Different people have different morals. One person might say that deceiving employees by sending a malicious email that looks authentic, professionally called phishing, is bad, even if it is done for a good purpose to test the organization's security level. Another person might say they do not see anything wrong with it. In contrast to ethics, there is legality. When you perform a penetration test for an organization, for it to be considered legal, you must receive explicit approval from the organization to do the test. Beyond approval, you must act according to the scope, meaning the predefined scope of work that states where you are allowed to go and where you are not. For example, you may be allowed to access a certain range of network addresses, but not another range. Certain services, like the organization's website, you are allowed to test, and others you are not. Beyond defining the scope, you must also comply with a set of rules agreed with the client that define which techniques you are allowed or forbidden to use. Ultimately, there is a contract between you and the client. This contract covers you legally for the actions you perform under it. You must therefore distinguish between ethics and legality. You can do something that is legal under the agreement with the client, even if some people consider it unethical. When people hear the word hacker, it usually has a negative connotation, someone who breaks in maliciously to cause damage, steal information, or demand ransom. But the truth is, a hacker can also be a good person, and it depends on the motive for the intrusion, meaning which hat the hacker is wearing. We can divide hackers into 3 groups, starting with a white hat hacker, meaning someone considered a good person who acts within the law and uses their skills to help others. On the other side is the hacker who operates with a black hat. We are talking about a criminal who seeks to cause harm and gain personal profit at others' expense. In between is a gray hat hacker. On one hand, they take bad characteristics from the black hat, such as acting illegally. On the other hand, they take characteristics from the white hat, where the goal is to help others and not seek personal gain. For example, someone who breaks into a scammer's website, meaning a site that deceives innocent people and steals their money, to stop their activity. On one hand, the action is illegal. On the other, it serves the public and not themselves. My training is for the role of a penetration tester who operates within the law, that is, a white hat hacker. You must be very careful and make sure to act according to the law, because conducting an intrusion outside the law will expose you to severe penalties. In the next lesson, we will learn the stages of the hacking process so we can build a systematic approach to our workflow. As I said, so you do not miss the upcoming lessons, subscribe to the channel now and click the bell. Subscribing to the channel is completely free and you can cancel whenever you want. I will see you in the next video.